Hey friends, it's Joe from DadBod. Today it's around 40 or 50 degrees Fahrenheit, which is like 10 degrees Celsius in Tokyo, and it's raining. It's a light drizzle. It's wet, but not the worst thing on the planet. We have what I'll call an exploratory run today. Normally this would be our long run day, but I'm still coming off an injury, so anything's success from like half a mile to 5. So let me pop this in my pocket and then I'll get you on my head and we'll start exploring Japan together. One second. Here we go. But it's fun and wet. So if you've never seen Tokyo in the rain, here you go. Welcome to your little Japanese village. Let me pull open the right app. We'll start walking. But there's so many factors that I'm navigating. I've been opening up certain parts of my body from like a mobility perspective, so getting used to working with that, and then recovering from some injuries. Haven't done focused cardio in a while, so that's also a factor that we're working through. There's a lot of pieces. Got a decent amount of sleep, I think. I give my sleep like B+. Could have been better, could have been worse. Just like anything else in my life. Turn this on. Messages. Alright, I think we're ready. Let me pop my glove on, we'll get to work. But yeah, before I turned on this live, I was like, okay, my main intention for today is that we can do this. Had some really debilitating hip lockout pain. Was able to kind of orient it from the hip flexor. So I've been working hip flexor mobility, but we're not perfectly symmetric. So what I'm going to try to do today is focus on core and back staying nice and taut, and really mellow pace, because of, you know, various discomforts. There's going to be a tendency for me to lean forward a little bit too far and start trying to go a little bit too quick. And I need to make sure I keep everything at a mellow conversational pace, but that I also control form. And a big one is impact. Yo, it's Norman! Oh my gosh! You're here from the start? What? I love this house, by the way. I really want to see it from the inside because it's got such small windows, but it's like 3 or 4 stories tall. And here's your yellow Maserati if you need one. Oh man! Not a nice day. Yeah, it's wet. It's not the worst. Even when I was getting ready this morning, I was like, crap. It's a rainy day. Rainy day in Japan. But I got out and it's like, it's a sprinkle, so I would say it's more on the refreshing side than like the cold, soggy, wet side. It'll catch up with me though. 000. Woo. Wet steps. But we haven't been doing long runs. Been working a lot of strength and mobility. So Today, sorry. Today is like a listen to my body and respect it kind of day. So really focusing on form and keeping it mellow, but we're learning how to run again now that we've done a lot of work to kind of open our mobility up. Don't slip. Did you see my recent YouTube shorts? I made one of a snow run and I totally ate it. It was awesome. Complete wipeout. Lucius, how's school, dude? So you're sophomore, right? Are you finishing up your sophomore year already? Now I'm trying to think through. I was like, I don't think he's a freshman anymore. And I was like, it's March. It's like, that means he's only got 3 months until his second summer break. Or maybe I'm moving too fast. Maybe you're still a freshman. All right, this is like the highest risk spot. It's downhill, it's wet. From a form perspective, running downhill slow on wet terrain is like the trickiest for me. All right, cool, we survived that. Last push, nice. Then it's exam season, lovely. That's so fun. Yeah, before your time, Lucius, there was I was gonna say there's a movie. No, that's not before your time. But when I first started streaming on Twitch, I made all these cool custom like raid alerts. If anybody raided our channel, I'd play like a little video with sound. And for me, I had it as this scene from Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers, where like the sun just starts to rise from the east, and then Gandalf and all the riders of Rohan start running down a hill, well, riding down a hill on horseback in slow motion, and all the orcs are like, whoa, like because it's so bright. That's the intensity you should imagine as you finish up the next 3 months of school. It's like you're just riding down this mountain, wrecking through some orcs. It's an awesome movie. It's a shame the Lord of the Rings films are so long. I've thought about watching them multiple times. And it's like, I just don't have 6 hours to watch a movie. Peter Jackson just cut out all the helicopter shots of New Zealand. Maybe I could actually get through a good plot, you know? But actually, Lucius, you're, there's a light at the end of the tunnel perspective. I just finished my master's in global leadership. I turned everything in the day that grades were due. Like, I got all these crazy extensions because of Felicia's insane birth experience. So I was throwing like 9 hours a day at school for 2 weeks while trying to juggle family commitments. Actually, after the live, if you still want to hang out, or tomorrow when it's better for your time, I posted a 3rd episode of the one-on-one with the Pretentious Engineer podcast. It was a capstone project for the second class I just finished. Very exciting, yes. Where I basically studied Asian spirituality, so Buddhism, well, Zen Buddhism, traditional Buddhism, Confucianism, and Taoism. And I developed some practices that I can implement into live streaming to make our community more inclusive for people who believe in those spiritualities, most of which come in from an Asian context, but not necessarily. A lot of that stuff has made it to the West as well in various capacities. But it's about 23 minutes and it's like a virtual final paper. So if you want to learn about Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism, it might be helpful, as some of your friends at school likely come from other countries that have those as default spiritualities. Plus it supports the channel. If you watch the full 22-minute video, I think I'll glean like 8 to 12 cents, which is quite significant. And if you forward it to all your friends, we'll be even better off. It's funny. Like, sometimes the algorithm will just take our content and push it. And other times it's like, hey, if you like this video that I worked really hard on, can you show it to someone? Please. Lovely. Thanks. Yeah, it was actually, I had like finished for each of these classes, dude. I did 6 weeks worth of readings, discussion posts, and journals in 1 week. And that was for 2 classes. So I did 12 weeks of work in 1 week. Wild. And then I was finishing the Asian spirituality class. That was my last one. Oh man, wet socks. Whew. I was finishing the Asian spirituality class, and I got to like the final assignment. They're like, you could either write a 3,500 page paper, or you could do a video presentation for under 25 minutes. And I like looked at the 2 options. I considered the fact that I'm a YouTuber. I was like, well, let's crank out a video. But the problem with being a YouTuber is like, I have certain standards of quality. So if I was just playing points, I would have been able to turn it in closer to on time. But I was like, well, it's gotta flow. To keep people engaged